What if I showed you how to legally get approved for $100,000 in 0% interest business funding, even if you have average credit? Hey everyone, it's Patrick Pye here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can get approved for over $100,000 in 0% interest business funding, even if you only have average credit. And generally, all you need is a 680 plus credit score. This is the real deal, so I'm going to be walking you through the exact system I use with my high-level coaching clients to help them unlock six figures in funding for their businesses. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds too good to be true, but stick with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to prove to you that this is 100% possible and legal with a simple step-by-step framework anyone can follow. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 critical steps to optimizing your personal credit profile so you look like a VIP borrower to the banks. How to pinpoint the top national, regional, and local banks most likely to approve you. My insider strategies to build instant credibility and trust with bank managers so they want to lend to you more. The optimal application sequence to maximize your funding potential without unnecessary credit inquiries. How to leverage 0% interest funding opportunities that will yield a greater ROI for your business. And real examples and client success stories of people who have used this to obtain 6 figures of funding. Fundamentally, this is all about leveraging business credit cards and banking relationships. See, most people think that you need this excellent credit score to get approved for serious business funding. The reality is that your credit profile is actually going to have more weight than what your actual credit score is. So somebody with a 760 credit score and only 2 trade lines reporting on their credit report is not going to get approved for nearly as much as somebody with a 680 score and 20 trade lines reporting on their credit report, with several of those being credit cards with high limits. But regardless of where you are, achieving 6-figure funding is possible. Whether it takes you 2 weeks and you get it all at once with your first business funding sequence, or it takes you 3 to 6 months and a couple times you repeating this funding process. Either way, one can achieve 6-figure funding relatively quickly. I'm going to walk you through a real client example so you can see exactly how this works. Alex came to me looking for funding to scale up his e-commerce business, and everywhere he applied, he was denied. But after going through my step-by-step system, we were able to get Alex approved for $120,000 in business funding in just 90 days. And as you can imagine, this completely changed his business. With the extra capital and cash flow, he was able to scale up his inventory, hire new employees, and increase his revenue by 4x within 6 months. Now, Alex isn't special. This is possible for anyone who takes the right steps, and I want to prove it to you. This process is 100% legal and ethical when you follow the proper steps to optimize your credit profile. And it's easier than you think when you know where to apply and in what order. So here's the 3-step formula I use to help my clients unlock massive funding. Step 1 comes down to optimizing your personal credit profile. This is about making yourself look as attractive as possible to lenders so that you can maximize approvals and funding amounts. So here's 3 key strategies I recommend to optimize your profile. 1, you want to lower your credit utilization below 30%. Ideally, you'd like it to be under 10%. Anything over 30% will really start to hurt your score and your approval odds. Number 2, you want to remove any derogatory marks through credit repair. We do have a free credit repair platform. I'll share the link below. All you have to do is pay for your monthly credit reports. You can also use AI and have ChatGPT draft you some letters. You can download some from online. The idea is to take some action. You could even hire a credit repair company. I just recommend staying away from the ones charging you a monthly fee, as they have no incentive to get it done quickly. And number 3 is performing credit line increases on any of your open accounts, but you only want to do this on cards you know that are going to be a soft inquiry. Having higher limits can help boost your score by keeping your utilization low, and it's also going to help you get higher limits on the business side as they'll use it as a comparable. With a few simple techniques like these, you can not only increase your scores by 50 to 150 points, but also qualify for the top tier credit products. Step 2 of the process is researching the best business banks and credit unions in your state. So you want to find lenders offering 0% interest business credit cards, no doc business lines of credit. Many of these financial institutions will actually allow you to double dip and use that same hard inquiry to tap into multiple banking products. Some of these lending institutions might also offer low doc equipment and SBA loans at very good rates. So you'll definitely want to do your research because many of the best programs are only available regionally from community banks and credit unions. But almost every state has lenders offering this if you know where to look. There's also a lot of credit unions that have a great reputation that are known for giving high limits and are not geo-restricted. You can typically join by making a one-time donation to a nonprofit. Step 3 of the process is building relationships. Relationships are key. So here are 2 simple but powerful strategies. Number 1, you want to start by opening up a business checking account first to establish credibility. Always prioritize going in person rather than opening accounts online. Then ask for a personal introduction to a business banking relationship manager. Building these relationships can be the difference between getting denied and applied or getting approved for a low limit as opposed to a high limit. Reason being is because a lot of times it'll go actually through manual underwriting as opposed to the computer algorithm when applying online or just going through the traditional application process. There's also some very expensive coaching programs out there, and from what I've heard, they're using this as kind of leverage to get them to buy their $10,000 program. But the truth is, one can establish these relationships themselves, and I actually recommend you do that because nobody can act as you. I can't shake the relationship manager's hand and pretend to be you. So making those appointments, going into those banks, shaking hands and kissing babies is really an important part of this funding process. And this is why I'll typically sway people away from the funding companies that charge a back-end fee. It's typically in their best interest to get you funded as quick as possible. Typically all they're doing is shotgunning applications online and hoping for the best outcome. They typically won't take the time to explain to you or to tell you that cultivating relationships, seasoning bank accounts, making constant deposits and withdrawals for 2 to 4 weeks or even up to 90 days will greatly improve your chances of not only approvals but higher limit cards. The best way is really to learn it yourself and have somebody who's gone through it already walk you through the process so that there's no confusion and there's 100% clarity, as we've broken this down into a simple framework that virtually anybody could drop in, follow the steps, and get funded. For some, it might take only 2 weeks to get funded, and for others, it might take anywhere between 4 to 6 months. Everyone has a different starting point, but generally, if you have a good credit score of 700 plus, a couple of credit cards, one maybe with a higher credit limit of $10,000, average credit history of 2 years, no derogatories, and you haven't opened too many accounts or racked up too many inquiries here in the last 6 to 12 months, the funding process itself really doesn't take much time. One can get funded as early as 48 hours, which leads me to the application strategy to maximize approvals. The key here is to make a credit card application sequence list of your top national, regional, and local banks and credit unions to target. Ideally, you want to apply for 2 to 3 new credit accounts per bureau, strategically spreading out your inquiries through Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You also want to start with the highest probability approvals first and go for banks known for being more sensitive to inquiries. This is why researching and knowing the bank's underwriting guidelines are important, so you know what order to apply in, what to put on your applications, when to apply, and how to apply to each financial institution. So when you put this all together correctly, optimizing your profile, targeting the best lenders, understanding their underwriting guidelines, building relationships, and strategically applying, you can realistically get 6 figures of 0% interest funding in as little as 2 weeks. And look, not to hype it up, let's just say you're listening to this and you're at a 670 score, your credit utilization is at 30%. You might need to work on your personal credit first, and that might take a few months. So let's just say that even took you 6 months. Let's say it took you 12 months to obtain $100,000. Following these steps is going to be the quickest way to access cheap capital. So I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, be sure to comment below because I plan on making a lot more videos and just really putting it all out there, because not only is there a lot of wrong information being put out there, but I feel like there's also a lot of misinformation. So it might not be 100% wrong. It could mean that you're taking the slow route to get funding, or some advice might come back to kick you in the butt several months later. So remember, when you use 0% interest funding intelligently, it lets you access capital to grow your business now while paying it back over time. You can leverage these new credit cards and 0% introductory rates to buy inventory, equipment, hire staff, increase ad spend and marketing, or whatever you need to boost revenue. And if you use the capital strategically to generate a greater return on investment, you can build a thriving business with other people's money. Now, if you'd like somebody to not only help you get funding, but show you every step of the way so that you can repeat this process, I want to invite you to schedule a call with me to see if you're a good fit for our funding program. I only work with 20 people at a time, as this is an intensive done with you program where I personally help craft your customized funding strategy. So if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, click the link below to schedule a call. There's no obligation to get started. We don't always have spots available, but it will at least reserve a spot. We'll simply have a quick chat to see if this is right for you. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be dropping a lot more content. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.